The left simply does not get it. No matter how hard they try, no matter how woke they become, they simply just do not understand why the American people will not believe them. In their minds, it should be simple. I mean, after all, they are offering everything for free. They believe that their plan is the only possible solution for America. I guess that these Democrats think that everyday Americans are stupid, but you and I both know that's simply not the case. I'm your host, Jared Dyson, and this is the Closet Conservative Podcast. The woke left insists that their way forward is the best and the only way for our country to continue. They simply do not understand why conservatives will not get on board with their plan. I mean, they are offering free healthcare, free housing, free education, and I'll be the first one to admit, sometimes I like free stuff. You know, I get pretty excited when I get a coupon for a free meal on my birthday or something like that. The kind of free stuff that Democrats are referring to, though, is not the same kind of free stuff that I enjoy. Democrats believe that everyday Americans should go along with their plan, but they underestimate those everyday Americans. I recently read a New York Times opinion article by Timothy Egan, and he laid out some of these very complaints. He started the story talking about how he has a sibling who works at Walmart. Now, apparently the sibling he has worked at Walmart for 25 years and is a cleaning employee at that local Walmart. It's very evident that Egan has some sort of issue with this kind of work as he starts the article. I mean, he tries to paint a grim picture of this type of job. I want to be the first one to say that I'm thankful for people that are willing to do these kind of jobs. Those are hardworking, everyday American jobs that keep our country going. I mean, can you imagine going through your day when no one ever empties a trash can or stocks the store shelf or cleans a bathroom? These people fill roles in businesses across America every day, from office buildings, retail stores, hospitals, and anywhere else in between. These people are some of those unsung workers of America. Unfortunately, Egan, along with many others on the left, have no appreciation for these hardworking Americans. They simply think that everything is free or should be given out for free. As you continue to read his article, Egan, he continues and talks about how he has tried to convince this sibling how Trump is trying to take away their health care, how he is costing her more through tariffs, and how Trump is repulsive and creepy. He continues talking about how this strategy is bad for the Democrats. He talks about how it's causing issues and convincing Americans to come to their side of thinking. Egan indicates that the reason Americans will not follow Democrats' plans is because they are talking over them. They're screaming at them, and they're being condescending towards the working class of Americans. These types of statements are exactly what's wrong with the left in the Democratic Party. It has everything to do with working Americans and nothing to do with how they act. You see, Egan believes that Democrats can still convince these hardworking Americans to save our nation by acting different. He called on Democrats to tone back the condescension of these hardworking Americans and to leave it alone until after the election. He suggested that if they do not wait until after the election, these hard-working Americans will relegate them to another 4 years of Trump. Egan and those woke Democrats on the left, they simply do not get it. In their minds, it should be simple, but they don't understand the people that they are trying to convince to come to their side. So why can't Egan or these other woke individuals on the left convince conservatives to abandon their values? Well, it's because they do not understand what work is. They don't understand these hardworking Americans. You know, these Americans that have had to live paycheck to paycheck in order to make ends meet. They do not understand that these hardworking Americans, they understand nothing comes for free. You have to work for what you get. These Americans are hardworking individuals trying to provide for their families. They're working difficult jobs, maybe not the most glamorous jobs. Sometimes they're even working two jobs. They understand that if they want something, they have to work for it, that they have to save their money, and that they have to pay for it. It isn't simply that you walk into a store, pick it up, and someone gives it to you. It's not that you deserve it just for existing. Somewhere, someone is paying for everything we have. And the left simply does not get that. They simply just do not understand that. You know, when you start bringing up costs like $30 trillion for healthcare, $1.5 trillion to wipe out student debt, billions more for free education, trillions more for a Green New Deal, these hardworking Americans, they know that someone somewhere has to pay for these programs. Many of these Americans know what it's like to be in debt. They understand that our national debt is $23 trillion. These hardworking Americans are not as stupid as Democrats would like to think. Egan seems to think this since he refers to the fact that over 2/3 of American adults do not have a 4-year college degree. You know, sometimes to be happy, you don't necessarily have to have a college degree. I've been fortunate to meet a lot of people throughout my life. Having worked in healthcare, I met a lot of great people that were working as nurses or other technicians on the floor, many of them with a 2-year degree or a simple certification. What about firefighters, paramedics, police officers, those who are working hard to keep us safe? Many of them don't even have a college degree at all. They simply have a simple certification from a local community college. I've met some mechanics in my life. Some of them only have technical certifications. And let's just talk about the truck drivers out there who many of them don't have a 4-year degree. They simply have a CDL and they make a fine living working on the highways, working hard in fact, so the rest of us can be at home. Are you saying all of these hardworking Americans are stupid? Because that seems to be what he's saying, and it couldn't be further from the truth. These are the people that make our world go around. Attacking these people does nothing to help solve the divide in our country, but it also highlights concerns in our country. The woke left believes that they know the best because they are better than anyone else. They are more educated, they are more politically correct, and obviously in some sort of higher social status than these hardworking Americans. This is an absolutely asinine way of thinking. I don't care if you are on the cleaning crew at Walmart or the executive board at Apple or Facebook. In the end, we are all Americans. Democrats will say all they can about Republicans and conservatives causing a racial and social divide in our country, but it is the Democrats who are responsible because they feel they're better than everyone else. In his article, Egan suggests that it is unfortunate that they cannot expand the progressive voter base through their current methods. But the next thing really caught my attention. He also said that it is unfortunate that these hardworking Americans, these ones we just talked about, are the ones that will be casting the deciding votes in our upcoming election. Yes, you heard me correct. He said it would be unfortunate. To the woke left, it's unfortunate that our teachers, our hairdressers, our stay-at-home moms, or our restaurant workers have a say in the upcoming election. It's unfortunate that Americans who have the common sense to understand that nothing in this world comes for free have a say in the direction of our country. This is the type of attitude from the left that is absolutely sickening to me. What is unfortunate is that Democrats have lost their ability to understand what it's like to be a normal American. They do not understand what it's like to have to actually work, maybe to live paycheck to paycheck. They do not understand what it's like to have to do these difficult jobs that may not be appealing to everyone else. They've lost their ability to relate to everyday Americans. Why? Because there's some form of social elite. They are better than everyone else. But this social divide is exactly what they were going for the whole time. They have painted company executives as horrible people who are simply out for their own greed. Sure, I'll be the first one to admit that from time to time that is the case. But it's not always the case. Many of these people provide jobs for hardworking Americans and they're interested in providing for their employees and for their families. Many of these people risked everything they had in order to start a business and to become successful. Yet we paint them as horrible people who are only out to keep down the workers, to oppress these people that are out here living paycheck to paycheck, working these non-popular jobs, as Egan would like to say. Egan and any of the others on the woke left do not have to look far to see the problems they have in convincing people to go the liberal way. Everyday, hardworking Americans understand that nothing is free. Why do these people support President Trump? Because he has proven time and again he is willing to work for Americans. He's not trying to take away things that they've worked hard for. He's not trying to promise them free things. These hardworking Americans understand free entitlement programs come with a catch. They come with a cost. You become enslaved to the government that gives them to you. These Americans value their freedoms. They value the freedom to work, worship, and live as they wish. Just because you're in a certain social class doesn't make you better than anyone else. Rather than trying to impose their will on these people, the woke left should spend some time getting to know these people. You know, I'd recommend that Egan travel down to that Walmart location where his sister works one night. Rather than arguing with her about President Trump and about politics, maybe he should pick up a cleaning brush and clean one of those toilets for her. Maybe he'd learn to appreciate again the hardworking Americans and the hard work that these people do, like most conservatives do.
This is the Closet Conservative Podcast. All material copyright The Closet Conservative. Music courtesy of Greg Shields Music. Remember to subscribe to our podcast to receive all the latest episodes. We can also be found online at closetconservative.net or on Facebook and Twitter.